say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious and they are many.
The temperature is expected to keep going up.
The stock market plunged.
Douglas County will run out of drinking water.
They will not be met easily or in a short span of time.
Sixth grader came down with suspected swine flu on Wednesday.
Energy, climate, food, population, economic pressures. Any one of these challenges might be very serious in itself. But because they're happening all simultaneously, it's going to be very difficult for our governments to cope.
All right, let's pause this right now. You see, it's all about governments coping. It's not about people coping or changing. It's all about the government saving us. And they're very slick. They're intertwining things that are actually happening this week, this month. Swine flu, for instance. The economy openly collapsing, for instance. And then they're intertwining Obama's voice, the new leader, talking about all these things. And then they go to news clips of third world countries and Africa, and they show groups of people because there's too many people. Remember, they talk about overpopulation in there as well. That's another thing they're discussing. So again, they're making it very slick. It's got this cartoon look, but at the same time, these experts are talking to me, and there's the newsman, and wait, these are actual news clips. It's very confusing to the mind that admittedly goes into that state where you have plausible deniability, or not plausible deniability, what is it called? Suspension of disbelief already. And you're already into it. This is the program you're watching. They don't call it programming for nothing, folks. It's programming for a reason, because it's programming you to get ready for these types of things. Swine flu, you know they're hyping that up. They want you to take a 3-spot shot in months now. If WHO goes to pandemic level 6, I mean, that's basically what I'm going to have to dedicate my show to until pandemic level 6 is over. But people don't get it. They don't understand. So right now, they are using very slick propaganda of showing current events with things that have nothing to do with current events, and then video that has nothing to do with overpopulation. And then a scientist saying, well, any one of these things is a real challenge for humanity, as if problems never existed for humanity before, and we haven't been able to overcome them and become a more civilized society. As if that hasn't happened. All these problems at once. Well, it's doomsday, folks. All right, hit the clip.
It's up for grabs.
Raising sea level.
Catastrophic weather. 10-year drought.
It's scary.
These are things that are happening today.
The time for action is now.
The world had never known such uncertainty. We were used to having what we wanted and doing what we wanted.
Pause it right there.
The analogy that I would draw.
So right now, we were used to doing what we wanted, and you're damn right we are. At least in this country, we are used to that. And what we want is freedom. In most cases, people are very happy to wallow in their own ignorance and just want their Jenny Light and their sports teams. But those in the know do want their freedom. It's called individual human rights. And everything you read in pandemic planning takes those away. Everything you read about world government is for the collective. In other words, the means or the ends justifies the means, and the means killing a lot of people. And that's very unfortunate. A lot of people can't get that through their head. But even in this, as time progresses, I mean, there's a very sad moment in the middle of the program where she loses her parents, and it was so hard, but you know what? They died together, and she was so happy that they were together when they got that severe flu and they died. They actually hype it up that the flu kills her parents. And everybody, this is at the point where everybody's, malnourished, and there's rations, and all of a sudden the flu just keeps getting stronger and stronger. People's immune systems just can't cope any longer. They're preparing you for this. All right, keep playing.
Is someone looking at their bank account, and week after week they're withdrawing money and they're enjoying a good life. If they would bother to read the statements, they would see that the bank account is dropping $900, $800, $700, $600. And at that rate, you know that
an evil bulldozer.
6 months of the good life, there's not going to be a good life anymore.
Coal being mined. It's very evil.
We've acted as though we were independent of the environment. We burned fossil fuels.
Oh, it's smoke.
We've overused our renewable resources in the belief that we could do that forever.
People are complaining about the economic crisis we have right now. You haven't seen nothing yet. If we continue down this suicidal pathway that we're on, where we basically turn living stuff into...
Pause it. Right there. Notice he says again, this suicidal pathway that we're on. If we continue on that suicidal pathway that we're on. Oh, wait a minute. Where have I heard that before? Oh, wait a minute. Ted Turner said that same exact thing, and then he said that too many people are doing too many things, and that's already causing global warming. He's talked about population sustainability. Ted, Mr. I just met with Oprah, Bloomberg, Rockefeller, Turner. That's who. Gates, to talk about overpopulation and what we can do to help, what we can do to curb overpopulation. Oh, well, thank you, Lord Turner. And that's coming out of the mouthpiece, this green activist. Everything's going green. You know, I had to watch a Goodwill commercial yesterday where Goodwill is now considering changing their logo from blue to green. Or that might have just a little green stripe to let you know we're here to help the environment. We love you very much. Everything needs to go green. You need to sacrifice. Obama said it in his speeches. You should have listened. We need great sacrifice for the entire population. These are global issues. This is a new world we're living in. All right, hit the clip.
To dead stuff and call that economic growth, this will look like the good old days.
Now we're in 2012, and those were 2009 were the good old days.
Although the world I was born into was running out of so much water, oil, land, I remember a loving family, a big house, green lawn, more water than we knew what to do with.
Pause it.
My parents must.
See, right here, they're prepping you. I had a big house. I had a green lawn. I ate well. We had more water than we can know what to do with. It was happy times. See, that's how still the majority of the middle class are living. Even though they're taking homes at a rapid pace, people can't pay their bills, they're losing their cars. Unemployment is at the highest rate ever since the Great Depression. On the books. 345,000 people lost their jobs in May. And believe me, those are lower numbers. Those are extremely low numbers. It's probably much, much more. In the good old days, remember, this is still 2012. There's still some kind of standard of living in 3 years, but that's about to change and change rapidly. All of a sudden, the evil dragonflies are going to make their way from Cuba to here. Now, they're supposed to be in Cuba. Why are they here? Well, it's global warming, of course. Don't you remember years back, not that far ago, when they said the killer bees are coming? The killer bees are coming. Now, mysteriously, a lot of the bees are dead. Why is that? The killer bees never came, did they? It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. We'll be back after this with more Earth 2100. End your calls. PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com, and my little Bobby Bloggins, theinfowarrior.com.